jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss.
Bomb Squad!
What's good? Shout out to the hottest shot in the MF game, man. A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know. I still got them looking, paying attention. We're going to talk some boxing amidst everything else. Let me drop this in the chat. You know, I wanted to, chop it up about some boxing with the latest news that broke as far as Floyd Schofield pulling out, and also Terrence Crawford on the middleweight division. I'm just waiting for my guy to pull up. Anybody else in the building? You want to pull up? Cool. I'm not like that other guy to be over there smoking to his heart's content. Drop the link in the chat and have somebody sitting in the background because he don't want to, he don't want to have a real legitimate discussion about a topic. You know who you are. I appreciate that courtesy, though. That hospitality was great. Hospitality was great. Real talk. What they do, Blue?
What's good with you? What's good with you? Give me 1 second. I'm about to order this food. Give me 1 minute. That's all. 1 minute.
I'll mute your mic. I'll mute your mic.
Yep, I got you. I got you.
Salute to everybody else on deck. I see NYT in the building. Stick 'em. Boys in the building. Salute to y'all. As you probably know, boxing is kind of been treading water lately, right? But it should be picking up here pretty soon in the month of November. I wish I can say something good about the Inouye fight, but it's just another fight. As I mentioned earlier, we have Fulton and Foster that's going on for a championship fight. I like it. That's going to be a hitter. I like that fight. I was really looking to see Kid Austin get back in the ring against Jojo Diaz, but he has a wrist sprain. Y'all. He has a wrist sprain. I don't know how to take that, but I'm not here to discount or question whether he has a wrist sprain or not. It just would have been good to see him go in there and continue to improve upon his opposition and the experience level. A lot of people outside of myself, that's what they want to see. I'm just being honest with you. That's what the heck they want to see. I'm waiting for Blue to get back up here. Shout out to y'all that's on deck, as always. What y'all think about the heavyweight? The makeup. It's kind of, I don't know, man. It's kind of floating around out there, right? Hey, salute to prayers go out to those who was hit by Hurricane Melissa. Prayers go up to them because that was a Category 5 and wins up to 185 plus. That's definitely something you don't want to be in the wake of once it touched down, depending on where you live at. You know what I'm saying? How sturdy your home, everything. So prayers go up to them. And if I never said it, Ricky Hatton allegedly, supposedly took his life. Boxing is a tough sport. Rest in heaven, Ricky Hatton. Rest in heaven, Matura Gotti's son. I don't know how to call these events. I really don't know what to say about them, except, may God bless their souls. What else is next? I was listening to a little bit back and forth of Shields and Layla Ali, but if they're not about to scrap, it's not much I got to say about that. Real talk. It's not much I got to say about it. But I know you want to hear me talk about it just a little bit. I didn't put it in the description, but I know you want to hear me talk about it. Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin, November 8th. Yes, sir. That's next week. Definitely looking forward to that. I want to see Erickson Lubin jump over and hop over that space of doubt. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see him be able to breach the big fight, to be able to get that victory over over a well-named opponent, so he can say, okay, this is my breakout fight. I'm no longer stricken under that, canopy, that cloud canopy that I had so many times where people keep looking at me getting knocked out by Mel Charlo. I want to get past that. I want to get past all the performances where they said I kind of struggled, like Jason Rosario early in the fight. Ramos, he's looking to have his breakout fight. I hope Lubin gets it done. But on the other hand, I like Virgil Ortiz too. I like Virgil Ortiz, yo. Very tough, tenacious fighter. But I'm just curious as to why Virgil haven't got the title shot that he's supposed to get. Like, what's going on with that? Like, they have maneuvered him the best way possible, and he still hasn't got a title shot yet. And he's in the second division of notoriety. November 14th, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, 10-round cruiserweight exhibition. There's not much I have to say about that, except I'm really hoping that Tank Davis catch Jake Paul. I hope Tank Davis is not out there biting on his gloves like Mike. I'm being honest, man. I'm really assuming that the contractual agreement that Davis and Paul has is nothing similar to that or what he had with Mike Tyson. Because from what I understood with Mike Tyson is that the longer the fight goes, the more he get paid. So he wasn't really out there trying to land that uppercut on Jake Paul. And also, I reiterate, for those of you boxing fans to understand how much of a idiosyncratic situation this is odd, yo. Because what boxing promoter you outside of Jake Paul that fights in the main events on his own cards? Do you think a promoter is going into an exhibition or any other fight, whether he's co-promoting, promoter, whatever, and he's putting out the checks? You actually think that he's not going to have some stipulations in between the lines, details, limiting his opponents, such as Gervonta Davis, who has fought as high as 140 pounds, super lightweight? Absolutely he is. So I expect this to be a Netflix classic. I expect this fight to be a Netflix classic, because to see the size difference, first of all, is going to be crazy. Then to see them go out here and waste our time. 3 times 10 is 31 minutes. Yeah. That's if you add one round in between. But 10 rounds. Exhibition. Tank is getting paid. Love it. But they're going 10 rounds exhibition, y'all. And it should be a Netflix classic. I'm not gonna lie to you, yo. You back, Blue?
Yes, sir, my friend. Yes, sir, my friend.
And last but not least, David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. I believe that David Benavidez will absolutely win this fight and possibly stop Anthony Yarde in the 9th or 10th round. Okay, that's if this isn't fought on the ropes and there's a lot of holding like he did Arthur. Hey, I appreciate you pulling up, Blue Hustle. In light of the topics and everything, Kid Austin disappoints fans once again. Kid Austin is not showing up to answer the bell Why? Because he has a wrist sprain. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts is this, my friend. Look, I guess he's pulling another case of the of Earl Spence, because one live video he has it on one hand, and another live video, which I think is the very next day, he has the his wrist brace on the other hand. Now, to
Mhm.
me, it's like, what's really going on here? You know, and then all I want to do is see a good fight. So my question is why are we pulling out the fight on this one? What happened? You know what I'm saying? What's the situation? So, you know, we just want to see good fights. And every time he has a fight that he's about to commit to, that's a high caliber fight. And I'm not saying that this fight is a high caliber. What I'm saying is that this fight right here, he's just basically backed out of. Now he says it's because he hurt his hands, which I could say, okay, but it's controversial to me right now, because if one hand you see it on, you see the your wrist brace, wrist brace on your other hand, and then you switched up the next day. And this is not, these are lives we're talking about. That's the only reason why I'm questioning this. So is it real
So
or
you
not?
saying before they go live, they forgetting which wrist they had it on before? You trying
It
to say
looks
they
like
trying to
that.
pull an Errol Spence eye patch scandal type deal?
Yes, that's what it's looking like, my friend. And I just don't understand it. It's like, come on, man. Can we just get a fight out of you, young man? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see a good fight. You know, it's always something going on when it comes to that situation. And I don't want to say scared, but what is going on for you to be, you know, not participating in these fights that you said that you want to be in, that you're asking for? Or, and I don't know if you asked for this fight, but I just, I want to see him follow through, you
Let me
know,
throw some names out there outside of JoJo Diaz. So
mhm,
we know Floyd Schofield's ranked high and on the ladder of sanctioning bodies, right? So
mhm,
when we see the sanctioning body that hosts Raymond Morathia as the IBF champion, Schofield's number 3 behind Andy
mhm,
Cruz. All right, Schofield's number 1 in the WBA with Gervonta Davis, and we pretty much knows what's going on over there at the WBO. We have Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason.
mhm.
So if you look at Floyd Schofield in the WBA, the IBF, Raymond Morathia, Andy Cruz, and let's just say Lucas Body or Gervonta Davis, who's the champion of the WBA. Do you see Kid Austin competing with any of those 3 names, Andy Cruz, Morathia, or Davis? You know what I'm saying? In the scheme of things, do you
Not
believe
right
that they
now.
may be looking for Gervonta Davis to vacate his belt or retire before they actually try to make a move on the WBA?
I think that's a possibility, because I don't see him really fighting these fighters. Every time it comes to a fight, it's like they're cherry picking their fights, but they're moving them very, like, you know, he is an investment. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
they're moving
that's
their
where I'm
investment
going with it
very,
though.
very properly.
Like
Yeah.
Tank Davis fight, um, the Tank Davis fight with Jake Paul is November 14th. Tank said he was
Hmm.
retiring. We don't know if he's retiring, but that's what he said. He's retiring, right? So that
Yeah.
means the WBA belt will be vacated, and potentially, just like Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason,
Hmm.
Kid Austin can fight for a vacant title.
Exactly. That's the way it's looking right now, because I just don't understand
That's
why
better
the,
than fighting JoJo Diaz.
yeah, correct. I mean, you got to look at it, take a chance on versus fighting for the vacant belt versus taking a chance against Jojo Diaz. And then Jojo Diaz does have a puncher's chance, which I'm not saying at all that he's going to win that fight, but he does have a puncher's chance. But,
What you mean
I
by
would,
punch a chance?
I
I'm
think
talking
if
about
anything,
close his eyes, punch a chance. Kevin Foreman in the first round, punch his chance. Like be more specific on what you're saying.
the fight can go a little ways, but I would see Schofield getting him out there probably within 6 rounds. I
Okay,
think Schofield would KO him.
okay.
Yeah, I do. I do. And I feel like that fight would he? They want to say catapult him.
Hmm.
I don't see it like that because I see it like he's still going to have to make take a real credible fight in order for him to people to erase the history or forget about the way he's been moving or he's been moved.
Yeah.
And I think honestly that this fight right here, like what you just said, that makes more sense. And that does actually, that makes a lot more sense when I think about it, with the reason why they would do that, get out the fight. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I feel like they got out the fight when it came to Shakur. They found any kind of reason to get out that fight too. So, and, they want to move him. Like I said, he's an investment. So they moving him in a certain way. But I don't know but why would you get ready, go through camp, put the money up for camp, and then not follow through with the fight? To me, it's crazy. And, I was one of the people that was at first was like, okay, you got a hand injury. But then when I seen those interviews, I'm like, that don't make no sense right now because I don't see where I didn't understand it. I'm just being honest. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how one hand you see it and the other hand, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's on the other hand the next day. So maybe he will. I don't know. His dad, man. In my opinion, man, his dad be. Whew, I don't know. His dad is his manager, so that's the way they moving, man. I can't say anything
Hey,
else. I don't
Stickum.
think Kid Austin
Hey,
was up.
I don't mean to cut you off, but Stickum said the brace was on the left hand, but the so-called bruise is on the right hand.
Yeah. Well, if you see both videos, you'll see if you watch both of them, because I think the interview was he did it Mill City the day before, and then he just did it. And so it's 2 days in a row. So each day was a different day that he did an interview with Mill City. And you can see that there's clearly a difference with the that brace being on his hand. And just like
Okay.
Stickum just said about the about the three bumps on his hand. It's like I mean, I don't understand what the three bumps can. Maybe mosquito bites. I mean, I don't know. And
Might
then
be
he said
allergic
that
reaction to tough fights. You never know.
that could be it. That could be it because he made a state. They made a statement talking about it's a what did he say? It's a like he like he overextended his hand,
Yeah.
hyperextended his hand. So if that's the case, at first it was he did a punch and then he tore some tendons. That's what I was assuming. That's what was said at first, because I could have swore I heard he tore some tendons in his hand. But now he hyperextended it. Which one is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much. It's 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 no confidence in what they're saying. It's like they're just freestyling as they go. And to me, I don't like that. I just want to know what's going on. Just like with the proof, like when it came down to it, he said he brought out the proof and tried to show a doctor's report that basically he hurt his hand, but those could be forged too. And if you're so quick to put it out there about that, you could have put out the information that you said you have receipts for when it came to Shakur, but you made an excuse and said that Oscar De La Hoya because you're I guess being sued or something. I don't know. Oscar De La Hoya told him no, not to do it. So that's the reason why I'm saying like what's really going on here. And it's just sad because you want to see the fight. I just want to see Schofield just get in the ring and do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Against a credible
against a
fighter.
legitimate, yeah, credible fighter,
Yeah.
yeah, credible
And
opponent.
the reason why is because the way that they talk, and not just necessarily that Junior talks, but Senior, how he talks. It's just consistent. Like if you could beat everybody, you shouldn't be pulling out any fights. You should be going in there with a hurt hand and going, he's fighting. I mean, look, when it came down to it, I can name some examples where fighters went in there with hurt hands. Ryan Garcia, he went in with some bruised ribs. Yeah, bruised ribs. I don't know if they're bruised or broken, but he went in
Mm-hmm.
there and fought Tank. He didn't have to do that. He could have pulled out the fight.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And that's just one example right there. But he still followed through with the fight. So it's just like it just to me it's you have to question it, and it's sad because I want to see the young man move forward and actually do big things that they say he can do. That's all it is, man. I just want to see him do what he said what they say he can do. Am I wrong for that? I hope not. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Uh,
to be honest, I don't think you're the only person that wants to see him basically fight for his potential. Just like I hold Boots accountable and everybody else, you want to see him go in there with the
facts.
fight. Even though I don't think JoJo Diaz is beating him, he's slowly but surely building up. His experience, his opposition, his level of experience with his opposition, and
Yes.
we're talking about him fighting a world champion. A former world champion, Jojo Diaz. So that's a positive on this side. But also on the
Hmm.
on the on the on the on the side of this is 2-0 right now. I mean 0-2 of
Yes.
fights that we was pretty much anxious to see happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yep.
It's just not gonna happen. So his dad, how he comes out, um, Schofield Senior, he's really junior, but Schofield Senior is that he just looks at it and brushes it off. You know what I'm saying? He just looks at it and brushes it off like it's nothing. But I'm not a heavy Schofield fan, but I'm not saying I don't support him either. Like
Yeah, I'm not a heavy fan either. I'm not.
I'm cool with him, but as far as everything else goes, how he comes in here and brush off big time fights, no, 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 not at
Yeah.
all.
It's saying that you could beat them and you could beat this person, you could beat this fighter, you could beat this fighter, that fighter. It's like, if you can beat all these fighters, what's the problem? Get it done. You know what I mean? None of these fighters can take your son's power. Get it done. Get in there and knock these fighters out because you
Yeah.
knocked everybody out. That's what you say. You knocked everybody out. You know, he's getting to his man strength. It's like, okay, well, then show us. I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
want to
we
see
want to see
this.
the man strength. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
want to see the man strength. That's all.
That's all I'm saying. Like, I just want to see a fight. Like, I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear you get upset with people and start talking down to people. Like in the interview, talking down to people, like basically, like, look, I got people that I deal with, trillionaires, and they're okay with it. But I got a person supporting the channel talking about Mill City. The people in the chat. $5. I don't got to answer to you. I'm not answering that question. It's like, man, come on, man, stop it. Just you're up there to give an interview. You know what I mean? And you're not giving the fans what they want. And that could have been one of your fans. That could have been a fan of you that was asking the question. And you turned it down like that. So it's like how we move is,
Oh, so he got mad at
yeah.
Mills.
One of the people in the Mill City chat that did a super chat.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you.
Hmm. Yeah. So he was telling him, we're not going to answer that question. Move on to the next question. Tell him Mills. Mills is just looking at him. It was diabolical, man. But it is what it is. You know, that's why I said, like, that's why I said I just want to see fighters fight for fights, man. I want to see good fights. I'm tired of hearing excuses of, I don't want to hear this fighter's better than this other fighter. If he is, improve it. Just get in the ring with him. Shut
Yeah.
that fighter up. Show us that how really good you are. That's all I care about. Because no matter what I look at it, he could really be good, but we're not getting the opportunity to see it.
I mean, should he be in a rush? He's still in his 20s. What's the
Facts,
rush?
but
Look, what's the rush with Schofield just to be a heel right quick? What's the rush with Schofield if it's not a title fight? Like he just came off a first round stoppage of Farmer. What's the rush
mhm,
with Diaz? JoJo is trying to get his life back on track.
mhm,
So in reality, him getting his life back on track is much more important than us not seeing 100%. You know what I'm saying? Of,
mhm.
Schofield going in there with a wrist injury or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying.
Well, no, I hear you. But when your father keep talking so much big stuff
Yeah.
and making it look like everybody's nothing, I gotta say, he got to show me now. I don't want to hear no excuses. Mayweather, here's a prime example. Mayweather used to get a shot before his fights because he had his hands. You know what I mean? Go do the same thing then. You know what I mean? He did it. You can do it. And I'm not trying to be like that, but sometimes you gotta bite, you gotta accept what it is because you put yourself in that position. You asked for it. I guess that's where I'm at. But
So, so you don't have no empathy for
no,
Schofield.
not right now. No, he's that Wayne
I
that
think
well
you
has
don't have
drained.
empathy. I think real talk, you don't have empathy for Schofield because of the Shakur Stevenson abort mission
No,
that happened over there in the UK, and Josh Padley had to step in. I think you're still holding a little bit of animus towards Schofield for posting up in the
animosity.
hospital bed, post hospital bed, and not giving us the fight that we was hoping for. I think that's it.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. I have it because what that happened, the Shakur situation, and the way his dad talks. And
Okay.
here we go again. To me, that's not okay. You see what I'm saying? I want to see the fights. I want to see some fight.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. I mean, if the fight didn't happen, the fight didn't happen, so you got to accept it. So if I'm sitting there harboring, feelings like that, then that's a problem with me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. So therefore, I look at this. I just want to see. If the past was erased, I wouldn't be saying this. But I can't forget what he's been going through. It's like a circus show almost dealing with him. We got to the point where the Sheik said he don't even want to do business with him no more. So it's like I don't know. I just want to see I want to see the young man step up and show us what he's worth. You say you're this, then show it. That's all. That's all it is at the end of the day. Hmm.
Well, it's gonna take a whole lot more than just show us what you're worth, because I don't mind his dad being in this business, of the boxing aspect of it,
Hmm.
but you can't keep pulling out of fights like this when people anticipating, you being one of the higher rank lightweights in the division, and you have fighters like Andy Cruz, that's done came up from behind and about to fight for a title. You have Abdullah
Yeah.
Mason that's about to fight Sam Noakes in a tough fight. You have Keyshawn Davis even, who picked up a belt. So your compeers are pretty much catching up to you right now. Real talk. Like your compeers is there. It's a
Yeah.
lot of individuals that are coming up, and I wouldn't so much say, passing them up, but if you keep on pulling out of fights, it's a huge possibility he might get blackballed by
Yeah.
people signing him up for a big fight, and then they have reservations and they say, nah, we don't want Schofields because they pull out of big fights.
Not
We don't want
reliable.
that shit.
Yeah. And
Albert Bell in that motherfucker now. Even Mark Masayos. I mean, he has a lot of good competition. Even William Cepeda.
does any of his contemporaries make excuses the way they have?
I'll have to
No.
say no, absolutely
No.
not.
No.
People might say Tank doesn't fight who they would want him to fight, but Tank has fought some names, okay, but champions and stuff like that. But Tank rarely pulls out of a fight. We're not talking about the delay of him and Lamont Roach. I'm talking about pulling out of fights that people really truly want to see that's already signed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying to that.
Yeah. I mean, you can say one fight that Tank did is Lamont Roach on the rematch. So other than that, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On the rematch is different, but you have to understand what boxing is. You have to understand what boxing is. When you have a rematch signed and you draw, it voids out the rematch. It's up to that particular individual to re-sign the rematch. Lamont Roach can go around on a tour all he wants, but he knows if you get a draw, well, it's not ironclad that you're gonna get that rematch in a draw.
No, facts.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure Lamont Roach want that moment to shine in there because he looked good in the first fight against Tank Davis, but Tank is going over there getting the bag, yo. Rosado, what's good? He's going over there getting that bag, and the bag is what count right now. The bag is what counts. because we see it all the time. Older fighters coming back, like Manny Pacquiao. Then you got Amir Khan talking about that he want, Manny said he want to fight Floyd in the real fight. Bro, get the bag, man. So you won't have to come back over here when you're supposed to be retired and your family worried about you going through fight camp and going in there and getting blasted.
Well, I see where Lamont Roach's point is, and I got to be honest with you now. I see where his point is. He's basically
Here we go. Lamont Roach
Mhm.
advocate team, the
No,
HR
hear me out. Hear me
department.
out. Okay, whatever you want to say, but hear me out. So both of them signed a contract for the rematch. No. If
Huh?
I'm correct, Lamont Roach said he signed the contract for the rematch. He was just waiting on what's the name to follow through for the rematch.
You
That's
saying
why.
after the first fight, right?
Yes, correct.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that's why Lamont Roach is suing Tank, because he feels like, look, all you had to do is do business a little bit better and let me know, like, look, I want to go get this bag real quick and I'll turn back around and come fight you. But there's nothing that hasn't happened. And you had me sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting on this rematch and for you to sign your part of the deal that you agreed upon. And I signed my part, but you haven't followed through. So that's
What do you
the
mean
only thing
agreed upon, Blue? What do you mean agreed upon?
they both came to an agreement. I guess they both came up to an agreement to where a contract
What
was.
agreement we talking about? We talking about verbal or we talking about
No, there
signature?
was a contract he signed a contract.
Who?
Lamont
Lamont,
wrote,
right?
Lamont wrote,
Okay, then.
Lamont, yeah.
Yeah. But
But I
did
mean, look,
Tank sign
if
it
he
to
had
lock it up?
if it had no weight to it whatsoever, he wouldn't be able to sue the man. They'd be
Look,
like, look, if you go to
a lot of people
if you
didn't
go to a
sue.
lawyer, no, I understand, but I wouldn't go to no lawyer and be like, yeah, I want to sue him because of this. He ain't signed his part. If a lawyer's not going to pursue that, not unless they feel like you got a case, because a lawyer should tell you straight up that, man, this don't
Yeah,
hold no water right here.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
I do not see you winning this case. So I don't
Correct.
think you should just leave this alone.
Yeah.
So that's
I
all I'm
agree.
getting at. You see what
I
I'm
agree.
saying?
His counsel should break it down to him, which I know at that level, Lamont Roach is not hiring some freaking intern or paralegal
Thank
to try
you.
to give him advice. I totally get it. Where you at with it? But on the flip side, the verbal. Did Tank verbally agree that Lamont? Okay, if he verbally agreed, then we know damn well you can sign the contract all you want. But the only thing I believe that he would go to court for is pretty much if he believes Tank prevented him from getting into another contractual agreement to fight. Him
Yeah,
going
yeah, I
on
can
with
see
his
that.
career and holding
Hmm.
him idle, believing that they was gonna have a rematch, and he had already, pretty much made a deal with Jake Paul. I can see that having
Yeah,
some legal
yeah,
ramifications.
hmm
Yeah, I can see that, no
yeah,
doubt.
yeah. So that's why I feel like, that's why I said that's the only reason why I see where Lamont's coming from. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, I ain't. I'm not gonna say anything like that. I'm not gonna get on no wild stuff. Because no matter what, I feel like I'm a boxing fan, so I just want to see equal opportunity for both fighters. And that's why I said at least Tank could have just gave him a heads up, and said, "Look, I'm gonna go get this bag, and I'll be right back." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thaw me out a little bit. I got you. I got you. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. I got you. And then it's like, okay, cool. That's all I gotta say on that tape.
I mean, I
Mhm.
get where you at, no doubt. It's 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 always very complex when it comes to the business of boxing. We highlight that all the time when it comes to fighters making deals, but we all know
Yeah.
unless that ink is drying and both parties have got together, um, Tank's team. It's not just Tank. Somebody advised him,
Hmm.
hey, go get that money on this side. Shit, man, you making this much more money than you would if you fought Roach. Go get that money from Jake Paul, and he'll be a fool not to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately for Lamont Roach, man,
Yeah.
it's just not gonna happen right now because he's already locked in for a November fight with Jake Paul, I believe, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, and it's gonna go down November 14th. It's gonna
Oh,
go
and
down, man.
Well, it might not. Hopefully it
We've
might
heard
not
this
because
before. We heard this
it
before. I
will,
know where you're going.
yeah, you already know.
You're gonna try to say that the fight somehow, some way won't take place because there's a pending contractual conflict.
that he just got himself into. Why does Tank have to be? Why is it with Tank that every time before a fight, this is the Mayweather effect?
Yeah, yeah,
Because Mayweather used to do this back in the day. Let's argue about something. Let's do this
yeah.
or something big happens,
Uh-huh.
dramatic, super dramatic. Here we go again. To get people to get the shining light on a fight, and it's
So what
like,
up,
come on,
Trick?
man. It's
Yeah,
like, come on,
I
man.
feel you. Yeah.
I just like this stuff. This theatrical stuff is getting old. You know what I mean? I guess that's where I'm at with it.
No,
Mm-hmm.
it'll never get old with boxing because
Mm-hmm.
this is
Right.
one of the only combat sports where you are guaranteed to see a circus act. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
time with big fights, they take you around and round and perform all these damn, tricks and shit and deception. Who said what? Is this gonna happen? Is this fighter fighting that fighter? It seems like everything is just like a whirlwind, and then it starts, winding itself down. You find out if the fight's gonna happen or not.
Yeah.
Boxing is one of the only combat sports really to always have you on the edge, unsure about if a fight gonna happen. It's always conflict. Just like
Yeah.
Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach feels that, hey, I signed the contract and you pretty much kind of gave me the check mark that we was going to do the rematch. But then I get blindsided with Jake Paul. I can't compete with Jake Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is Lamont Roach going to do? He's going to have to sit it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Sit it out and eventually find another fight when he knows that it's not happening between him and Tank.
Correct.
Which, so I mean that's why I said I'm not upset about how he moves, how Lamont Roach is moving, and I'm not upset about how Tank is moving either because at the end of the day, no matter what, PBC got to pay them bills. So 40 million is
Correct.
going to help them out. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, they getting a cut of that. So that helps them out, man. You know, that helped them out regardless. You
Yeah.
can't,
The bills
you can't
definitely have to
argue
be
enough.
paid.
Mm-hmm.
The bills definitely have to be paid. And I ain't mad at Tank going over there getting the bag. I'm just not mad, yo. I'm not mad. But also Lamont Roach, I will have to say he's a good dude. Lamont Roach is a stand-up dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
him several times in person when I was on deck in the trenches. Good dude, respectful as hell, him and his people, all that. Um, but my deal is I'm not really privy to all the fine details of what him and Tank talked about. But I do know when it comes to seniority, if there's any type of COC in this chain of command, Tank is going to win. Tank is going to have Al Heyman or whoever's over there running the show for him. And they're going to have him say, hey, this is going to happen. That's it. Don't call us again. Tank is in fight camp.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Or wait, we'll let you know. To be continued.
Mm-hmm. We'll
You
let you
sit over
know.
there, wait. Mhm. To be continued.
What about what Stickum say fight Pitbull? When they supposed to fight? Or you think that's being put on
Who?
hold for now?
Lamont?
Yeah.
That fight is in effect, I thought.
Is what?
I thought that fight is happening. He's getting ready to fight Pitbull.
Okay,
That's
so
what he's fighting.
if Lamont Roach is getting ready to fight Pitbull, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be a little bit of difficulty trying to prove legally that he held you out from getting a fight. If he's set to fight Pitbull sometime down the line, probably first semester 2026 or December. I don't know. Anybody in chat know? When are they supposed to fight?
So I don't know when they're supposed to fight, but I will say this to you. It depends on how long he signed it. And if he could prove, like, look, I sat around and waited, I could have made a fight. I mean, that's very, very subjective right there.
Yeah.
And if you have a good lawyer, you can pull that off. You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
they
you
show
got
a
to pay that
timeline.
really good lawyer too.
Facts. That's why I said if you got a
See.
good lawyer, you can pull it off.
Let me see if they posted that fight with Pitbull yet. Hell yeah, it's December 6th.
Yeah,
It's December
that's what.
6th at the Frostbank
Mhm.
Center, San Antonio. So that's going down. Appreciate that, Stickum Boys, for real. You know, like, yeah, it's going down. He's fighting Pitbull on the 6th of December. Appreciate that, man. Trick said, will Floyd versus Manny be an exhibition or a real fight? Well, I look at it this way: Floyd Mayweather still has pull. Somehow Manny, he still has pull. I don't want to say I could care less either way, but when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, he's one of the most stern negotiators out there when it comes to fights. So what Manny wants, I don't know if Manny gonna get. I mean, Floyd has shown that he's very meticulous about his business. That's why he has some of the highest numbers ever on pay-per-view back in the day. So I hope it's not an exhibition. I would like to see them in a real fight. A
I thought
10-round
he was
real
supposed to be
fight.
fighting Mike Tyson first, though.
Who?
It was supposed to be
The
Mayweather versus
BS that
Mike
came
Tyson.
out. Man, come
Yeah.
on now. Come on now.
So that's not
I
that's
don't know if
just
it's not happening
smoke and
because
screen right now. That's a smoke and screen.
I'm not sure, bro. I really can't drop details on information that I'm not
No,
all the
I
way
got you.
informed about.
Yeah,
Like
appreciate
I
you.
seen it come out when the Tank Davis and Jake Paul shit popped. When I seen that
Yeah.
surface, and then I seen Floyd Mayweather being petty as always with freaking, Iron Mike. I just took it as him being petty, man. Like, okay, he's doing what he did. Like Floyd really messed up Teofimo and George Kambosos' situation. He really did, bro. He came down to Florida when they was to fight, and man, word got around, and people's gonna go to his fight instead of this. Man, he caused that fight to be rescheduled. They had to cancel the fight card because Floyd showed down there to fight Logan Paul in Florida, yo. Man, he ain't no joke, man. Floyd,
Yeah.
man, he takes no prisons, man, when it comes down to
Like
his
he got
boxing.
pulled.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he
got
got pulled,
pulled.
man.
He got pull. He can throw his weight around, not even have that much weight. He throws a lot of weight around without even having that much weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, Floyd a heavyweight when it comes to this,
Yeah.
who's gonna get preferential treatment and who's not. Come on, man. You can't mess with that dude, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Let
this
me ask
fight
you
would
this. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. Good.
I wanted to ask you about, the potential projection of Terrence Bud Crawford moving the middleweight. He said he got his eye on Jana Beck and Arislandi Laura Winner. Do you believe
Yeah.
he may take that next move? 160?
I do. And I think that's a smarter move. Go get undisputed 4 divisions. I mean, you have 4. You have your resume shows that you are been undisputed 4 times, and then you just added another. You added another division to your resume. I think that's great. And now all he has to do is just sell off to the sea, or just take one more fight. Like he can do a fight. I just rather see him quit after that, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I
Mm,
mean, if he chooses to fight Ennis, I mean, he can do that.
I'm not really trying
Make
to hear that
see, I
Ennis
ain't
thing.
either. That you see what I'm saying? That's what I said. But I wouldn't be mad. Would you be mad if he said I'm gonna fight Ennis at 160? Because
Well,
that's where he just got
define the
through at.
term mad, because I would be disappointed. I wouldn't be mad,
Okay,
yo.
not the harsh word mad. Would you
No,
feel some
I
kind
wouldn't
of
be
way?
mad. I would be disappointed because I always tell people being mad is almost like I have partial control over a fighter I support heavy. So
Yeah.
if I got mad at Bud, knowing he's accomplished what he accomplished, he can make any decision he wants. Why am I be mad
Mhm.
if he fought Ennis? I would be disappointed to the fact that he gave him an opportunity without making him earn it. Just like Bomac said on the Boxing Voice, he told Two Tone he was wrong about Bud. Like,
Mhm.
bro, you're talking about he's a ducker because of Boots Ennis want to fight, but you're not keeping the same energy when Crawford was trying to get a fight with Errol Spence, and he was trying to get a fight with Canelo Alvarez, and y'all was like, he ain't did this, he ain't did that. That was a whole
Facts.
list a whole laundry list, bro.
And let me
Of
add
what
to that
Crawford
too.
hasn't done.
Yeah, facts. Let me add to that too. It's not like people. It's not like Blue Blood when he was with BLK Prime. It's not like he didn't basically reach out to Ennis twice and ask him did he want that smoke with him. Turned it down. Said they're loyal. They said they're loyal to Showtime. Turned the fight down.
Yeah, they said they didn't have a contract with Showtime, but they was loyal
Hmm.
to Showtime.
And you see how
You know what I'm
loyal
saying?
Showtime
I
was to
mean,
them, right? How
yeah,
loyal was
Showtime was
Showtime to
loyal to let them know that they was on the runway and wings was
them?
spread, landing gear out,
Yeah.
and they was gone. Period.
Yeah, that's how loyal they was to him, right? So you should have took that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Should have took that fight if you had to fight, man. You should have took that shit.
Yeah, you should have took it, man. So
I
that's
don't
why
think they
it's like,
wanted to fight. I don't think they really wanted to fight because when you talk about loyalty,
mhm,
loyalty in certain circumstances mean a lot. It holds weight, solid
yeah,
weight too. But when you talk about loyalty to Showtime, why couldn't Showtime, if they felt and had felt that you was to promise you the next big thing, why couldn't they just go ahead and say, okay, we all in with you fighting Crawford? Because he
facts.
wasn't a ticket seller? Like, you gonna still say he wasn't a ticket seller back then when he was fighting Avanesian? Were you all looking at how negotiations fell out with Errol Spence to say, no, we don't want to take a risk on Crawford? What was it?
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that. I'm
I
with
mean,
you.
what hindered you from making that leap? That's all I want to know, man.
Bozy, Bozy.
Yeah, man. Bozy didn't want that fight, man.
Look, Bozy. I'm just up here. I'm just talking shit when I say this, man. But there's been talk that people say that Bozy likes Crawford more. I mean, than he likes his son, which isn't true.
Oh,
We
for
all
real?
know that.
Oh,
You know what I'm
shit.
saying? Which isn't true because
Oh,
he
shit.
he likes the way because look, he said this is what happened. And it says
Damn.
look, I mean, um, Jerron says I think that, but I think Canelo's going to win the fight, right? And then after he spars Canelo, he comes out and says, well, you know what? I don't know. It can go either way, right? Bosey's off top. Crawford's going to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? So the
Mm-hmm.
way that he looks at somebody is totally different. You see what I'm saying? So they be bumping heads, just like on $1 million worth of game, like what Crawford pointed out. You saying one thing, but your dad is saying something else.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Get it together. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people like to clown and say, that's why I said what I said. Because people are just clowning when they say that. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
why I brought it up. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean it's not true at all. I do not believe that Bozy Ennis likes Crawford over his son. I don't believe that at all. It's just people are throwing it out there because the way that Bozy shows so much confidence when it comes to Crawford. You know what I'm saying? When his son doesn't. Like his son said, I didn't watch the fight. Man, if you
Yeah.
if you had time to watch games, other sports, you didn't have time to watch even on the replay, then the fight's been out for a while. You still ain't watched the fight yet? You just only watch highlights? I find that hard to believe. That's just my personal opinion. Now, it could have happened. He could be telling the truth. He didn't watch the fight. He just watched highlights. But
I
I,
ain't
in
telling
my
no
personal
goddamn
opinion,
truth.
you see what I'm saying? Just in my personal opinion, I don't believe that. I believe he watched the fight and that's what it is. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I believe.
Hey, what up, Bo?
Hey, what's
What's up,
going
my
on,
guy,
fellas?
Bo? What's good with your family?
Hey, what's going on? How y'all been?
I'm good. I'm good, man.
Good,
How about
man.
yourself?
Good.
I
Good.
just getting out of work right now. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, nah, I saw you was on live. I ain't know what the topic was about, but nah, I've been following. I don't know, off the Boston thing. I've been following that fucking Sonya Massey case, man. I'm happy they, you know what I'm saying. They found that
Yeah.
dude guilty.
Yeah, they found him guilty. You're right about that. That was something that, yeah, I don't get into politics like that, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's a big fight coming up this weekend, or I'm not sure.
Now we got some fights coming up next month though. You know, we got the Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney, of course. We got Jake Paul, El Chin Checker. You know,
oh my
we have.
gosh. Stop it.
Is there a problem? Is there a problem over here? Is there a problem? Let me put the thumbnail up. Is there a problem? I mean, that's El Chin Checker, though.
Get off the gas. Get off that gas.
Oh, man. Just because he wasn't fighting Shakur yet, man, that fight may never happen, man.
It ain't gonna happen. So, and he sure didn't chin check nobody when it came to Lamont Roach. But Bo
was asking about up and coming fights, like you know, up and coming fights, not talking about something you can't change. Ain't gonna have power. Ain't gonna have power regardless. We got Benavidez and Anthony Yard coming up November 22nd too.
Yeah,
and then the Japanese monster in the way versus some dude David Picasso. Yeah.
So I'm wondering who's going to win the fighter of the year this year.
I mean, hands down, it should be Crawford, but you know how boxing goes.
Exactly.
It should be Terrence Crawford. You know, Alexander Usyk did a lot. I ain't gonna lie. But it should be Crawford primarily because of the challenge that he did by moving up 2 weight divisions and defeating Canelo Alvarez, who, you know, he was the undisputed champion. I can see if it might be a little bit of questions in there if it was just for one title, but it was for undisputed, yo.
Yeah. No way.
They probably saw to say, like, you know, inactivity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he only fought one time and everybody.
That's all you need. I think.
Yeah, but that don't mean anything because Canelo was active. So you can't say anything about that on his behalf. I mean, that falls on Crawford. If Crawford was to lose, that falls on Crawford. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Canelo
being
fought
inactive.
That year, right?
Yeah, he fought multiple times. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So
who you think, Bo? Who you think should get fight of the year?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, because like we only seen this a person that fought one time a year that actually won the actual fighter of the year, and that was Joe Frazier when he beat Ali. So I mean, it's a good argument, you know what I'm saying, for Crawford. But if they
why did he get so much praise for beating Ali though?
Because he was the underdog, you know what I'm saying? Like he was rolling into that fight, which was kind of
weird. You see the similarities? You see the similarities though? Crawford was the underdog, so to speak, going in here against Canelo.
Yeah, that's true. And it was crazy when they made Frazier the underdog. That was kind of weird because, you know, Ali was just getting back into the game. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he just had a rough fight against I forgot the dude name that he fought before he fought Frazier. He just had he went through hell before he got that Frazier fight.
Yeah, I see where your point of reference is. Real talk.
Hey, after we get through with this topic. Hey, WCS. After we get through with this topic, I want to speak on something that you just mentioned just like a couple minutes ago, talking about Usyk in the heavyweight division. You know, so what you said at the
just open panel. There's no specifics.
No, I know. But I mean, look, Bo just put up. I want Bo to have the floor a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get you know, talk a little bit.
Y'all go and chop it up. I gotta take care of something right quick, fellas. Hold on.
All right.
All right. Yeah, what happened with Usyk?
No, see, nothing happened with Usyk. My point is this: that this is just my opinion. That the heavyweight division, because people say that, you know, Usyk went from cruiserweight to heavyweight, which I totally understand. But I appreciate his compliments at cruiserweight. But when it comes to heavyweight, this in this era right now, the heavyweight division is watered down. I mean, do you feel like that?
It's gotten a little bit better, you know what I'm saying, over the past few years, though. As far as like fighters in the division now.
I mean, but how?
Yeah, but yeah, I do get where you come from. Like the fighters that he fought, you can say, hey, yeah, it's been watered down because he hasn't really fought that many heavyweights. Like
you see what I'm saying? He's rematched a lot of the heavyweights, brother. He's done rematches with heavyweights. So, in my personal opinion, it's watered down. He did what he was supposed to do. You know, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Now, that doesn't mean I'm correct, but you can't say I'm wrong either. You know, I mean, some people could say I'm wrong if they wanted to, but just in my personal opinion, I feel like the heavyweight division is watered down a little bit, man, right now, and it's gonna be like that until we have until these 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 young prospects come up out the game. You know, in
But
the
I,
heavyweight division.
but like I said, I think in the past few years, the heavyweight division gotten better overall. I mean, if you look at some of these guys, it might not be known, but
Hmm.
I think they legit. Like how about I think he's legit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Moses Atama is legit to me, in my
Well,
personal
to me,
opinion.
he's still wet behind the ears. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a promising, heavyweight, but as of
So
right
you,
now, I mean, beating the Dillian White, especially this version of a Dillian
mhm,
White,
yeah,
like he's supposed to do that.
yeah, he is. You're
But
right.
but at the same time, I'm not gonna like shoot him all the way up to the top. You know what I'm saying? I think he has a promising future. Um,
Well,
the,
well, that's why I said that these. I mean, just like right now, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I want to see Usyk fight Moses." I'm like, no, he still needs some experience, man. He needs a couple fights. That's why I like his answer when they said that. He even said it himself. Not ready for Usyk just yet, which is respectable. That lets me know that
right,
that he understands that he needs to improve on some stuff, and he's not coming out being cocky or believing the hype. You see what I'm
right,
saying? And that's what a lot of times these fighters can do. They get caught up in believing the hype, which it can be. When you have somebody telling you, man, you good, you the best, you gonna do this, you gonna do that, you can start believing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You start entertaining it, and then it becomes a belief. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So,
I mean, I guess they
I,
try to look at him like a Mike Tyson, but I don't think he was on the Tyson level when Tyson was that young. You know?
you want me to be honest with you? I wanted to see. I think Moses. I mean, this is just my personal opinion. I like his style, his
Yeah,
fighting style. You know what I mean? And yes, he does need more experience. To me, he is he's right in the middle of prospect and contender. You see what I'm saying? No, you could say. See, I want to say he's a contender, but to me, it's just almost a contender, almost right
Well,
there of
I mean,
being contender.
After beating Dillian White, he's a contender for sure.
I don't consider that.
You don't
Because I feel
consider
like
that?
no, that's just my personal look at it. And the reason why is because he did what he was supposed to do. Now, I did like the way in the fashion that he beat Gillian one. I like that a lot. But I just feel
Mhm.
like he needs one more fight to step in. And just in my opinion, I feel like if he was to fight Joseph Parker, that would be a good fight.
Well, Joseph
Joseph Parker
Parker
just,
just lost.
hmm? Yeah, but still,
I
that
thought that was a horrible stoppage too, in my opinion. Like, and I'm
you
shocked. Like
did.
Fabio Warley actually, you know what I'm saying? Because I really didn't think high of Fabio
Hey
Warley
man,
like that outside his power.
I didn't either. I had Joseph Parker win. You're right. I'm agreeing with
But
you.
to be honest with you, I didn't think that stoppage should have happened, man. And not to mention, I thought Joseph Parker was outboxing him. But you know,
He the extra 20 pounds that he put on, in my opinion, it
yeah,
really started to affect him. I think he did that for punch resistance, which is understandable. You see what I'm saying? Because he usually comes in a little bit lighter when he fights. But I will say that Worley does have some heart. He does, man, and he could take a
he
punch.
does.
You
Yeah,
know, he could take a punch too because he literally I don't think he could beat Usyk. I'm not going to say that right now at all. I do not think he could beat Usyk, and that would be a puncher's chance. He would have a puncher's chance in fighting Usyk because he has a lot of flaws about him. You know, he's
yeah,
wild. Um, I can't say that he's. I can't really say anything about his stamina, but I can because it looked like a sluggish fight. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
both of them had stamina issues. You know what I mean? So like I can't really say, but I will say this: Joseph Parker's gas tank emptied out quicker. Well, his emptied out first. You see what I'm saying? Over
But he normally has a gas tank. That's the thing with him.
true, but you got to think about it, man. He's in that fight, and maybe that's the reason why Worley was able to push it out because he kept grinding and grinding and grinding that hard. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That he's durable. You know, he kept fighting. When I thought Parker should have got him out of there. You know what I mean? Because the way he was just, it looked like the way the punches he was taking the punches was affecting him to where he could got him out. He could have finished him. Let me say that. That's what I guess I should be saying. You know, but it didn't happen like that. You got to stop it. And in my personal opinion, I feel like with the body blow, the body attack that he was delivering on Joseph Parker, it just drained him. And Joseph Parker, I will say this, Wortley, he does punch hard.
Yeah.
He is a strong puncher because the simple fact is you could tell those punches was draining him to the body. That's why he got sluggish. You know, maybe that, in my opinion, maybe he shouldn't have put on so much weight. You know, maybe by not putting up that much weight, he could have got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he did that. You don't know if that was the best thing for him because it's not like they're going to rematch right now instantly. And then Joseph Parker comes in 20 pounds
Apparently
lighter.
they pushing for the Usyk fight.
The rematch?
No,
Who?
no.
Worley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank Warren,
Yeah.
they pushing for that Usyk joint. They trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
force Usyk to drop the belt.
Yeah. You think he's going to drop the belts?
Nah, because Usyk probably looking at Fabio Wardley like he's fool. He like, man, like
For real.
I get past his power and just fucking outclass the
Yeah.
shit out of him.
Yep. Just do his foot movement. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Usyk really does have great. He has great footwork, man. Really good footwork that gets him in and out of situations because he knows how to get in and out. He knows how to
Yeah.
move. He knows how to have the lateral movement, and he knows how to put his punches together too. So, and to tell you the truth, in my opinion, that man can take a punch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
We
can,
can
he
sit there
can.
and say, yeah, you can sit there and say
But
that
he a
that
little weak to the body, I will say that.
that's what I was just getting ready to say. You can say it all you want to, but when has he went down? That's the same thing as when it came to Keith Thurman. When have you
Well,
seen him stop to a body blow? You haven't, so you can't say that.
no,
Yes, he might.
only reason why I say that because it's two fights. I witnessed it in two fights.
Hmm.
When he had a rematch with Joshua hit him with a good ass body shot, but he faked it off like it was a low blow. That shit was straight to the body. And then when he first fought Dane Dubois hit him with a body shot. The referee should have counted that, you know what I'm saying, did the standing 8 or counted them out. Remember, it took
Yeah,
Usyk like a few minutes to recover from that, but he played it off like it was a low blow. So to me, like he he might got to tighten that body, up or whatever. But yeah, he a little soft around the body. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean,
Now
hey, look, I'm not gonna argue with you on that.
Now, Keith Thurman case, the one thing you could say about Keith Thurman, he take it to the body, he's visibly hurt, but he's still fighting on.
Hmm.
Even while he's still hurt, you know what I'm saying? He'll spit out the mouthpiece and try to suck in some air, you know, and move around. And then after that, he's back onto it. He ain't like,
Yeah.
going down and rolling around like somebody hit
Well,
him
I
with a low
mean,
blow.
but hold on. Yeah, well, okay, I see what you did. I can see where you're going with this. I can't say that. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
That is true. Because I was gonna give you some pushback, but I'm not gonna do that. When you just said what you said, you forcibly injected in my mind right now, the incident where he was on the ground. Usyk was on the ground. Oh my God. So yeah, I got you. Hmm.
But I mean, I do like the heavyweight. It might not, the marketing thing might not be there, but I do like the competition now than it was a few years ago. Like overall, like if you look at the top 10, I
Hmm.
think got some decent guys in there.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I will say is we need another heavyweight fighter, man.
In America,
Yeah, we do, man.
I tell you what, man, the way this motherfucking economy going, you might just get one. Motherfuckers like shit, can't get a job. I might get in the fucking boxing. Yo,
I think that would be a good thing.
remember back in the day, Martin Lawrence had a stand-up comedy, man. He said, as long as the brother's out of a job, he's like, y'all ain't gonna have no white heavyweight champion. But shit, motherfuckers got jobs now. They playing NBA, NFL, shit. Let the NBA and the NFL tank, boy. You get a whole bunch of heavyweights in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that part. Man, these fights. We were talking about what's your outlook on the situation with Floyd Schofield and JoJo Diaz uh, and Floyd backing out the fight.
Yeah, what he said, he
Do
was
you
injured,
believe it
right?
because of injury? Oh, see, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, in this case, I could. could kind of believe he's injured. I don't. Yeah, in this case, I mean, to be honest, I'm glad the fight was canceled because let's just be real here. I mean, like JoJo's coming off a loss. I think fucking Schofield would have sparked him anyway. You know,
Yeah, I do too.
JoJo is slowed down a hell of a lot. You know, he put up a value effort against Regis, but I just think this dude being real young, the age and shit, you know what I'm saying? It would
He
JoJo
was,
probably would have been out of there.
yeah, I'm with you. I believe that he was sparking. But here's a little controversy I want to I'll put in there. Want to enlighten you to. I don't know if you already know this about this, know about it, but um, I'll say this. So, um, I guess they said that he had a hyperextended his wrist, and one statement they say he hyperextended his wrist, and then another statement is they say that he tore some tendons in his hand. Right? That's
Mhm.
that's one situation. That's both of those two things are one situation, right? And here's
Yeah.
another situation where he did two interviews, live interviews, the other day, you know, with Mill City. One on one interview, he had the wrist brace on one hand, and on the second day of the interview, he had it on the other hand.
Mhm.
He pulled an Errol Spence.
Oh,
What do
with
you
the
think? What's your
iPad?
thoughts on that? Yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
I didn't even see it. I saw the interview. I think he did. That was with was that with boxing fight hype or some shit? I think that's the
Hmm.
only one I saw. Either
Okay.
was that's the interview I saw when he was saying like he injured and he wanted to fight and his father didn't want him to fight because he said, hey,
Hmm.
your hands is your money or your money maker, so.
Yeah,
But no,
facts.
I didn't see the Mill City interview, so I really can't comment on that. But if he did have it on the other hand, then I mean that's suspect as hell.
Yeah, and that's where I brought it into the situation. So yeah, one interview. Now you could be right. Now like, you could be. Well, people could take what they want to take, but you could be right when you said it was through Fight Hub. One of the interviews was through Fight Hub because they've been doing multiple interviews the last couple of days. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you could probably look at it like that from that one too. So and but yeah, just having the wrist brace on different hands is wild, man. You know, it's like so what me and WCS came up to concluded to is that basically they might have pulled out because they want to get the vacant belt, fight for the vacant belt if Tank drops out,
Ah,
if he retires. You see what I'm
but
saying? Which makes really, really
but
good sense.
but to me, even if he was to fight him and Tank drops out, he'll get the vacant belt anyway. So I'm not sure why
Oh,
they
you
would
have to
pull
fight
out.
for it.
Well, if
Well, I mean,
he
well,
no,
just look, watch.
actually he can't get that vacant belt anyway. They have an interim champion. He was going to fight so he's trying to fight the interim champion. Is that what it is?
That could be that's probably what it is right there. So, and
Okay,
the
I
reason why I'm
see.
saying that,
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So the reason why I'm saying that because if you go in a fight with JoJo Diaz, people are already frowning on that fight to a certain extent, but he does have a puncher's chance, you know. And what if he clips you? I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but maybe that's what they could be thinking of too. The reason why they pulled out the fight. Now I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm just speculating. You know what I mean? So just
Yeah,
speculating. You
yeah.
see
I
what I'm
just
getting
think
at though?
no. I see where you're getting at. I just think he probably really did injured this time. Like I don't think he pulled some fake stuff like he did at the beginning of this year. Like my man was like, what he said. Him and his pod, he said, "Oh yeah, well, his pops was like, yeah, they flattened my tires, and
Oh man,
they held us at gunpoint, and that shit right there was wild."
yeah, diabolical, man, diabolical.
Yeah.
It just you know what? I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. His credibility, him and his dad's credibility is shot. And I hate to say that about a young fighter like himself because You know, I believe he could be a really good fighter, you know, but when your dad says y'all can KO everybody and y'all the best and this person and you beat this person in sparring, you know what I'm saying? It's just
But
nobody
you know
can
what that
basically
is,
beat him.
right? You know what that is,
Yeah,
right?
I
I
do,
mean,
but
it's just all marketing at the end of the day. So
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
usually take a lot of those with a grain of salt until I start finding flaws, like like some lies and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when they start talking that, yo, that man ducked me. Like if they pull like the Boots situation when he
hmm
was saying he was like, I've been asking for those fights since 2018, and it was
yeah,
like what? Like Boots, nobody even knew who the fuck he was at 2018.
yeah, exactly.
In his
Man, you
own
was fighting.
mind, in his own mind, he thought somebody did. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you was fighting at the boys and girls clubs. What you talking about? 2018.
We were looking for your 2018. It's the dumbest shit I heard, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's why I love how Bud nipped it in the bud by basically saying, "So which one is it? Your dad is saying one thing, you say one thing, another thing. What's going on here?" You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, oh man,
Hey
these
fellas,
fights.
I gotta pull out and go pick some up, man. You know, do
Okay,
handle some business. I can't tell you when I'm be on next, but I appreciate y'all pulling up anyway.
I
well,
You
for
know what I'm
appreciate
sure,
that,
saying?
man.
Yeah, for
for
sure,
sure,
man.
man.
Hey, y'all
Appreciate
hold
the
it down.
boxing talk.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to Blue Hustle in the building. Shout out to Bowling Understanding, the hottest chat in the MF and game. Another time, another place, man. We out.